I'm a ninja, like a shadow in the dark. Perfect mixture, strength, stamina, and heart. Never give up, always finish what I start. In a battle you will see me rip a challenger apart. I gotta win, I refuse to lose. That's about the only thing I refuse to do. I'll give blood, sweat, and tears to reach my goal. I'm focused now, remain in complete control. I know it's mind over matter, I ain't feeling no pain. Go hard or go home, man, this isn't a game. This is what I live for, the very reason I train. So when they speak about the greats, they can mention my name, and I could say I'm a ninja, I'm a ninja, I'm a ninja.
What's up, ninjas? Chris Wilczewski here with another episode of Ninja Lab. This past week we were at Gravity Forge in Hatboro, PA. But before we get into that action there, I'm gonna dive back a week to Buffalo. We didn't wrap up the girls competition. We didn't have all the footage that we needed, but we have it now, so let's dive right into the girls comp. So first up in third place, we had Alicia Moonan. Now Alicia had a killer run. She flew right through the steps and then she went right into the cargo net, no hesitation whatsoever. On the obstacle after that though, she got a little hung up on the second unstable bridge. She took a few too many swings and it might have pumped her just a little bit. And then going into the last obstacle that she got to, she made a huge jump, caught the bar that looked like it rotated a little bit, but she was able to stop the rotation by using a cross grip. And then when she got to the end, she had a really smart move. She kicked the ring to bring it closer, but it still wasn't enough. When the ring came closer, she went one hand and tried to jump immediately, and that jump is actually what threw her off. The weight coming in was a little too much. She didn't get that hand there soon enough, and she ended up going down. But awesome third place finish, Alicia. We're looking forward to seeing you in the national finals. So jumping up to second place, we had Kayla Nisbet. Now Kayla did have a little bit of trouble on the steps. She was starting to slide down as she was going along, but she was able to make it all the way through. And then she went into the second obstacle with no hesitations whatsoever. Where she got stuck was again on that little rings to PVC pipe thing, back to rings. She couldn't make that last transition. It was just a little bit too much for her. But again, excellent run. You scored second place, and we're looking forward to seeing you in the national finals. So coming in first place, we had Jessie Labrecht. Now Jessie was an amazing athlete. She coasted through most of the course. Her upper body strength went for days. And to be honest, I talked to her afterwards, and she doesn't have an upper body intensive background. She does mostly track. She only started climbing a week ago. So it was really impressive to see what she did out there. So going to that obstacle that the second and third place girls fell on, she went right through it, didn't have any hesitations, was really smooth throughout the entire run. Then when we jumped over to the very next obstacle after that, the cliffhanger into pegboard, she did a sweet spin move, coasted through it, made it look super easy. She made it look easier than some of the guy competitors. And the balance thing wasn't even an issue for her. She just coasted through that too. When she finally met her match, was she got to the arm rings, and on the arm ring, she was fighting. She was up there for like a solid minute and a half, 2 minutes, just trying to get the ring over top, and she couldn't quite get it. She even did a better move and tried to build up a swing to get it, but it still wasn't enough, and eventually she went down on that obstacle. But it was a phenomenal effort, Jessie, and we look forward to seeing you in the national final. Congrats, ladies, on doing awesome on the Buffalo course. Now, let's get swifty with some footage from Gravity Forge. Starting off in third place, we had David. And David was a little bit hung up on the second obstacle. The second obstacle was actually the hardest. I think over 70% of the competition failed there. He got a little hung up there, but was able to make it through. The rest of his run, again, a few problem areas. He got stuck a little bit on the cone to ball transfer off of the ring slider, but he was able to grab the slider and pull himself back and recover. Then when he went to the salmon ladder, he started getting a little bit better. He used the reverse technique that you see from Ben Muelich, where he faces the way of the double and goes up. So awesome technique there. And then when you got to the final climb, you pushed through in the end. It took you a little bit of time, but you were able to muscle your way through. Excellent job out there, David. We're looking forward to seeing you in the finals. Congrats, man.
All right, so next up we have John Stevens. Now John coasts right here through the first obstacle, jumps right into the rope, no problem. Then on the balance obstacle, he flies through it. Everyone else was having a lot of difficulty with it, no problem for him. Then he goes on to the dips. Most people are using a one-arm moving technique. He flies through with both arms and just coasts through that, beasts his way up the wall. He's coasting at this point, really not having any problems. And then right here, check it out, the reverse salmon ladder transfer. I've never seen someone do that gap backwards. Awesome stuff there, John. And then to top it off, as he's going through this obstacle, which I see as one of the harder obstacles in the course, one of the more upper body intensive, He, struggles to get through, whiffs, and holds the one-arm lock off, just being Mr. Cool, floating through it, looking super, super awesome. And then he gets to the final climb, and in the final climb, he just flies up. Most guys are taking 45 seconds. Here he is. He does it super fast. Most guys were hitting it with their feet because they were so gassed out. He goes all the way to the top and finishes it. Excellent run. Congrats on qualifying. We're looking forward to seeing you in the finals.
Coming in first place, course killer, Mike Myers. Now, Mike made that second obstacle look dumb. We saw earlier a lot of competitors had trouble on it. He coasted right through it. He was spinning his way through the ring obstacle to avoid getting caught up, so excellent move there. And when he went through the salmon ladder, he started really destroying the course. He knocked the salmon ladder off the back as he was going into the crazy grip ring hook obstacle. That's an obstacle that's seen here before at the Movement Lab, and Dan threw it into his course. It's one of the toughest obstacles I've ever seen. So excellent job there, Dan, on that, and excellent job, Mike, for making that thing look easy. Then when he went into the snake bridge, he went and destroyed the course again. He made the jump and almost bashed the landing off. And then when he finally got to the final climb, he went all the way up. He looked like he was struggling at the end, but he fought through and was able to finish with an excellent time. Good enough for first place. Good job out there, course killer Mike Myers. We're looking forward to seeing you in our national finals. All right, enough about the male athletes. Let's jump over to the Gravity girls and see how the girls did this weekend. So, coming in third place, we had Jenny Lauer. Now, Jenny did a nice slow approach through the steps. She actually stopped in the very last one and did a jump to the rope that was able to make that transition nice and easy for her. And then she was unfortunately knocked out on the next obstacle. It was the obstacle that took out 70% of the competition. Not much you can do there, Jenny. Excellent job, and congrats on qualifying. Coming in second place, we had Zamir Dor. Now, Zamira made it through the steps pretty easily. Again, she used that stopping technique at the end to make that rope transfer a little bit easier. Then that second obstacle, again, took out another one. She was going through, everything looked okay, but then she stepped just a tiny bit to her left and flipped up one of the little things that Dan had there. Other than that, you had a good run. It was a really tough obstacle, took out most of the competition. Good job out there, Zeke. The question now, did anyone make it through that second obstacle? Yes, we did. We had Maura Sherman. Maura was the only female competitor to make it through the second obstacle. She took a very quick approach through the steps. She was the only girl who didn't hesitate and went right into the rope, and it looked super awesome. Then when she got to the little shroom things, she took her time. She had very precise foot placement and made it all the way through. But then when she got to the dip obstacle, she just didn't have what it took. She fell a little bit short on her left arm and was DQ'd. But excellent job out there, Maura. We're looking forward to seeing you in the finals. That wraps it up here for this week's action at Gravity Forge. Next week, we actually have a bye week, so we won't be having any competitions. The next competition will be November 7th at iCore Fitness in PA. Definitely be sure to tune back next week, though, because we're going to be doing some exclusive interviews with competitors at Team Ninja Warrior Comp, and we're going to be doing a recap of the season to talk about the present standings and how the league's been going so far. So be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to our channel, and tune back here next week. I'm your host, Chris Wachewski. Peace out, my Glib Globs.